Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Farm Sim 25, and welcome back to our Sharon Center, Ohio potato farming empire. My name is Spartan Elite 43, and tonight it's not about the potatoes, y'all. It is officially June, which is not potato harvesting season, but it is barley harvesting season. So it's time to put our brand new harvester to the test. I spent all that money to get that brand new harvester and a new header that's sitting right over there. Look at that. So today, we get to put it to the test. But we also got to get out our tractor and bring our trailer with us. Because this is not, well, it is a modded harvester, but it is not an absurdly unrealistic modded harvester in the fact that it doesn't just hold everything that we can harvest. So, we got to bring the trailer. So we're going to fire up our green monster here. We'll go pick up our trailer. And then we will take this down to the field, and then we will come back and grab our harvester and take it down to the field as well. And pull the cover off of that, and let's begin the trip. I'm excited, y'all. It's been a while since we've done anything that wasn't potatoes. So, crap, I did it again. What's happening is I try to use my turn signal, and every time I do, I forget to hit the button at the same time, or I misclick at the same time, and then I end up teleporting instead. But our pumpkins are looking good. They're out there keeping the loan in check while we grind our way through. Potatoes are looking fantastic over there, ain't they? Looking good. That is one good looking potato field. But we also are headed down here to this next field, which is actually quite a ways away, to be honest. But I'm excited to get something other than potatoes for a change. Now, if you guys don't remember why we're doing this, we bought this field to plant canola on, and it already had barley planted. So we're going to harvest the barley, sell the barley, plant canola next month, or not next month, it gets planted in August. So we got a couple of months. But we'll plant the canola in this field, and that canola will eventually be used in a oil mill that we are going to have to build and produce canola oil, which will then be used in a production where we are going to create potato chips. But look at this barley field looking fan-freaking-tastic. Now, we are not going to worry about straw on this particular field because I don't have a baler and I can't be bothered. So we're just going to spread the straw out on the field. This is not a very big field, so I don't expect there to be a lot here, but still should be a significant amount, considering that all we did was fertilize the field. Everything else was already done prior. But look at this monster of a freaking harvester, man. This thing is fancy. The pipe is just, it doesn't fold apparently in the middle, which is what would normally happen with a pipe this long. But yeah, this pipe doesn't fold, so it just kind of pokes you in the eye when you're looking at it from behind. But we'll hook this thing up. This is why we got that trailer hitch. And the pipe is just tall enough to get over top. Man, this worked out pretty well, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I just kind of spitballed it, and we ended up getting the right stuff together, but man, it's a big old harvester header. But we're gonna take this thing over. Now this harvester kind of reminds me of the armadillo from Armageddon. You guys remember that? It's from the movie Armageddon, where they're going out to blow up the asteroid. Those little landing craft that they have, the drill rigs and stuff, the armadillos. That's what this thing reminds me of. This thing is an absolute unit of a harvester, man. Look at this thing. Those big old fat floaters on there. That ginormous header that somehow looks even bigger despite being on the back of a freaking monster of a harvester. Like, I don't know how we managed to get this. Look how far we have to go just to get behind this thing. This is crazy. That's what happens when you buy a 50-foot freaking header. Lord have mercy. It's literally a semi-truck. Or a semi-trailer, I should say. But we're almost to where we need to be. And we will just pull this thing off to the side. Now, the weird thing about this field is we have an issue with the shrubbery on this side of the field. For some reason, some genius thought it was a great idea, put a row of shrubs down alongside that field. I'm sure it looks good from a distance, but it is very obnoxious in reality. Now, I don't know if my tractor or my harvester actually gets ate up by those shrubs. I'm just going to assume they do, even though they probably don't. There's probably no collision on them. But I'm going to respect them anyway. But we're going to pull over. Look how small our 8400R looks next to this thing. Good God. This thing dwarfs our little 8400R. In what reality does an 8400R look so tiny? Like, that's crazy. Alright. Well, we got to where we need to be. Also, I managed to park the tractor right in the way somehow. But we're going to go ahead and unfold this thing. Look at this big old sucker here. We got the big extender, by the way. Look at that. Fancy. Big old extender. Hopper. But we'll flip this thing around. We'll hook her up to the front. Oops. Want to get her straight in here. There we go. Boop. Perfect. All right. Look at that thing. Good God. Could you imagine? My God dang. This is way too big for this small of an area. But, you know, if you're going in, you might as well go all the way. Let's move our tractor out of the way so we can do a proper headlands pass here. So that we have room to separate ourselves from the freaking obnoxiousness that is that shrub wall. Alright, climb back up inside. And let's get this party on the road. It is time to put some barley in the hopper. Alright, we'll set this up. We've got a 15.2 meter working width. We'll lower it and drive onto the field. Oh, crap, I forgot. Disable straw swap. That's the wrong one. There we go. Well, that straw's going to get annoying, probably. Oh, yeah, look at her go. Look at the fancy chaff blowers in the back. Man, this thing does look good. I'll give it that. It looks right. It may look massive when you put it on like a highway, but you put it in a field, it just looks like it belongs. Also, I forgot. We're not going to be able to harvest at 25 miles an hour like we do with our other modded harvester. This is a good old-fashioned regular harvester. So those of you out there want realism, well, it don't get much better than this, does it? Look at all that barley just flowing into the hopper. All right. Let's go ahead and turn this sucker around. Oh, it turns on a... I like that. This thing turns real nice. It turns real nice. All right. I ain't gonna lie. I like this thing. I like it a lot. But she is just going to be chomping away at some barley. Let's look at it from the inside. Oh, yeah. Thresher throwing the barley down into the feeder. Interior of this thing looks nice and comfy. Got a buddy seat just in case you want to join me for a ride. Hot dog, man, this thing looking good. What's our yield looking? Yield's looking good. Yield is looking real good. That being said, I feel like our header or our thresher needs to go down. Is there a way to adjust that? So if I go this way? Nope, that ain't it. This one? usually there's a way to adjust these. I don't know exactly what I'm opening here. Oh, well, there's that. Okay, you can literally open like all of the panels on this thing, which is cool. Oh, maybe I have to actually be on the harvester here. Yeah, that's still showing the wrong thing. I feel like the like thresher needs to be down further. And I feel like all we're doing is opening and closing the yeah. Might have to look into that. But we're almost done with our first like row here on the outside edge. And I also just realized that we're probably going to need to, well, we'll be on our way back, which will be perfect. We'll just do a loop-de-loop and turn around and come back on this edge. And then the pipe will be in an area that can be offloaded. I do have to start thinking about that. Woo, we hit a real good area down here, 118% yield. Let's go. It's not a very big area, but hey. Needless to say, we're getting some good barley off this field. But I think this thing turns so nice. Holy moly. We will go ahead and do this headlands down here. I was actually going to turn around and go back down this side of the field, but look at all the barley up in the hopper. Holy crap. We're overflowing almost. That's a good problem to have, y'all. A real good problem to have. Oh, we're in a bad section of the field. Alright, we'll turn the map off for the time being. Looks like we're going to be about wrapped up right here. Which is fine, because like I said, we will simply be going back to the other side of the field. That way the pipe is on the outside, but we have cleared our way to make ourselves plenty of room to turn around. Continue going until we fill up this hopper, which is right there. Now let's put out the pipe and wait. This is why we got the big pipe, because we wanted to make sure that it sticks out past the header. But we'll go grab our tractor, bring it over, and offload all the barley that we've got in the hopper. Hopefully that straw gets disappeared when we actually come in and start planting. I don't know if it will or not. I don't have any use for it. We'll bring this sucker around and take all the barley it can give us. And then we'll probably just sit on this side for a little bit. You can see old harvester up here, blending in with the trees. Stands out in the golden field, but you look at the tree line and all of a sudden you lose it. Alright, let's take all the barley you got. Decent offload speed, nothing too crazy though. Okay, maybe I lied. Maybe this offload speed isn't the greatest. You'd think with that big of an auger, be able to pump the barley out pretty quick. All right. And back on the road we go. I do like the look of the barley as it gets chopped up and thrown into the feeder. You know, kind of satisfying. I know that there is a way to adjust that height on that thresher. We're gonna have to try to do that. I don't know how we'll do it, but we gotta try. The whole open the wrong thing. And that's the door. Oh, there it goes. It just doesn't show up in the actual thing. Now we're going. All right. Now our thresher's actually touching the grain. You can also adjust how far it sticks out. I don't know what the proper height is for the thresher going down into the thing, but that should work. Yeah, it looks like we're getting over half a tank every time. Okay. Now the downside is we're going to be filled on this pass and we're facing the wrong direction. It's not ideal. But it's alright. We can always back away from it. Whether you're a John Deere fan or not, you gotta admit this thing is an absolute beast of a harvester. Close to being full again. Our tractor is 2 clicks away, unfortunately. I like when I can just teleport straight to the tractor. But the more equipment we get, the more options I have to teleport through. You guys will have to let me know if you guys like this style of farming more. A little bit slower paced. Look at that turning radius, man. That is fantastic. And off to the races we go. What I could do, go ahead and do this. That way you guys don't have to see the lines. Sometimes I like to just sit there and listen to everything. Just comforting. I don't know why. Alright, let's go pick up some more barley. Now, I know I could hire an AI to do this, and then I would run the cart next to it. Maybe we'll do that in the next couple of rows or something. Just kind of mix it up a little bit. But before we do that, we probably ought to turn this down to 6 miles an hour. What that was about. Weird. Must have been just sticking a little bit too far past the trailer. Bring that back in. We'll go ahead and set this up. Turn off the headlands. Actually, we'll do the headlands, but we'll start with the up and downs. We'll let the AI take over. We can be the carter. What we could do is just wait for it to get down to the bottom, and when it turns back around to come this way, we can offload it. Flip this thing around. You can watch this. That AI doesn't destroy the crop when it drives on it. Alright, this is our chance. We're going to line ourselves up with the outside of the header. Somewhere around here should be fine. Come in a little bit. There we go. And match that right there. Perfect little partnership. The Mean Green Harvesting Machine, baby. So I'm getting a little off course, got to tighten it up a little bit. Won't be losing any of our grain. Alright, well, we will go back down to the other end of the field, prepare to meet him down there again. And the best part is this field is going to get almost an immediate turnaround too. So we're going to have to throw some lime on it immediately. We're going to have to get some canola planted. Obviously canola gets planted in August, but that gives us a month to have lime on the field. Try to get the pH back in line. While back in the old harvester, everything looks like it's going nice and smooth. I don't think I've ever done barley as a crop before. Like, I've done oats, I've done wheat. I don't think I've ever actually done barley. Tank looking. She's filling up. Kind of reminds me of Sugar Puffs. You guys ever eat Sugar Puffs back in the day? The little bear on the front of it. I don't even know if they're still around anymore. I would imagine they are. But he used to have a bear on the front of the cover of the cereal, and it was called Sugar Bears or Sugar Puffs or something like that. I used to put a big old scoop of peanut butter in my Sugar Puffs. Because, you know, they don't have enough sugar in them already. You got to throw some more sugar in there. Can't have too much sugar. Wow, yeah, this guy's fired. Could you imagine? Could you imagine you're driving the combine on a farm and then you just do that? Crazy. Like I said before, you can't find good help these days. All right, let's see if we get it right the first time this time. So we want to be right about this line. Look at that. Could speed up a little bit just to get us further into the wagon. They sure do look good though, don't they? Getting a little too close and starting to freak out. There we go. Seems to be a good sweet spot for it, right down the middle. Yeah, close. Still drift a little bit. think that pipe is the perfect length for this header. Gives you just enough clearance to be comfortable and not like bumping into the header. Now, I don't know what the yield difference is going to be between, say, barley and canola, but we're already sitting about 90,000 liters off this field. And we got another, at least one row, maybe one and a partial rows to go. Get down here, we'll turn around and wait for our worker to get down here in the harvester. And then it'll be just about done. One thing we could do is go ahead and figure out when does barley sell, because I have no idea. I would imagine it's probably October, November-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood. But we'll see. Barley is at its highest price December, actually. Okay. So we want to hold this until December, which is fine. We got a silo for that. Perfect. Again, I'm not expecting to get a lot out of this field in terms of money. What this field is going to be is for canola production, for our oil that we're then going to be able to use for our creating potato chips. That is the whole purpose of this field. And I don't know if this field's going to be big enough to supply enough canola to make enough oil for our potato chips, because I haven't ever done this, so it's going to be a trial and error sort of situation. I'm hoping that this is the last row. Looks like we're going to be wide enough to get the last row here, but it might be one and a partial, and that would be heartbreaking. Let's see what they do here. I mean, it looks like it's going to be wide enough. It's real close. Oh, it is just off. Oh, that's sadness. We need a bigger header! Look at it was almost perfect. Wait, forgot. I've got it set. I've got the cruise control set for 6 miles an hour. Gotta go a little faster than that if I want to catch up to the guy first. Alright, so we want to be about here. And about here. Oh, a little faster. Perfect. And I can turn away a little bit. Looks good. Not have to worry about running into our header trailer or anything. So it is good on this end of the field, but that end of the field just a little bit off. Wait, what are you doing? Oh, is this now considered a headlands? So yeah, it's now going to drive all the way up here, turn around, and go back. Oh, you gotta love the game. Sometimes it can be a little weird. It's alright, though. It'll get there. And it should have plenty of hopper space so we don't have to worry about it. So I'm actually going to take this down and we'll wait. I'm not in a hurry. We can wait. It'd be nice if it would scoop up that straw and throw it in and then blow it out, but it's not going to. So this is the final pass of this field. Overall, didn't take that long. I mean, this still took 44 minutes. You guys know, or roughly 40 minutes. We'll call it 40 minutes. But it just takes a while. Everything takes longer when you're doing it the legit way. Go up here, grab this last little bunch. At least it knows to pick up the header and go forward faster. Credit where credit's due. I'll go ahead. Get rid of him. Do this myself. This really gives you a good chance to see how the feeders work. You got those conveyor belts right there. The cutter cuts the plant, the thresher throws the plant onto the feeder, and the feeder belt throws it into the middle where this spiky tube feeds it up into the machine, where it then gets separated. And then of course the chaff gets thrown out the back, or normally would be straw. We're not making straw, but everything gets thrown out the back, and then the good stuff gets separated and put up in here. All right. All right, let's get this thing back over, unload it, and put our header back on the header trailer. Get this thing out of the field, back home. Call it a day. Actually, we probably ought to throw some lime on this field now, so maybe we won't call it a day just yet. If we throw the lime on it now, then that should allow us to have plenty of lime or plenty of pH level for our planting of canola. Obviously, we fertilize the canola as we plant it, so that won't be a problem. Try not to dump any of our grain outside of the trailer. There we go. Alright. So we ended up with 108,000 liters of barley off this field. Again, don't expect it to be a big payday or anything, but again, we didn't plant it, so it's one of those things where it just kind of came with the field. We got the maximum that we could off the field. And it gave us a good chance to run our combine for the first time. So we can go ahead and set this down there. Fold up the harvester. Attach it. Look at that. Almost perfect. It's like I've done this before. Beautiful. Alright, now we're going to do a full U-turn. Maybe. Yep, we're good. I almost underestimated how big this freaking thing really is. It's kind of nuts. give a little toot toot on the way by. So we take this thing back over to the shop. Now I didn't foresee this being a problem until just now, but we parked this thing alongside the shop, but we don't really have a way to do that without running into our potatoes. And I don't want to destroy my potatoes. So we might have to set this in a different location than we normally do, for at least the time being. But the potato fields are definitely looking good. You see where all the weeds were spot sprayed. Which gives me another thing to mention. If we look at our precision farming, we are at a score of 96, y'all. 96. Our weed control will get better over time. But our pH value is also going to get better. Our nitrogen value is going to get better. Like, we're doing good. We're doing real good in terms of environmental score. And that just adds more money in our pockets too, because we get bonuses, which is nice. But look at the size of this thing, man. If this road is legit, then I mean, we're taking up the entire road surface. Go ahead and whip her in here. Alright, now where do we park this in the meantime? Could just pull it over here for the time being, actually. My wife probably isn't going to be thrilled about this, but, you know, you got to do what you got to do. She understands. I'll just buy her another one of those glass cats that she likes. You guys ever see those? Like little glass cats that your girls like to put in their gardens outdoors. She'll have to get one of those. Take her mind up. Maybe we'll take her to a yard sale. She loves yard sales. All right. The Mean Green Harvesting Machine is officially packed up. Now we gotta go get to the other tractor. Actually, we can leave that uncovered because we are, and as I expected, yep, there's no collision on those. I mean, there is, but it's not something that stops the tractor. It just kind of pushes the bush out of the way. Oh, yeah. Probably ought to, oops, get back on the road. Reset our cruise control for our max speed. I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but every time that we like drive past one of these power poles, look at the clouds. I can't unsee it. I can't. Every time I drive past, I'm like, oh my god, that looks terrible. And then it's fine. And then you look, oh my god, it looks terrible. And then it's fine. And then, oh my god, it looks terrible. I wonder if this game uses some sort of like frame generation or something. I don't know. Maybe it's an anti-aliasing that's going wonky, but Lord have mercy. Thank God the power poles are on the other side now. Alright. Let's put this barley in the old silo. And then we'll get our lime spreader out and go do some liming. $108,000 liters of barley. Again, I have no idea what that's going to amount to. I know it's not the most expensive crop in the world. Also, we have this spot now, so let's go ahead and start using it. Whoops. Overcorrected. My bad. Beautiful. Perfect. All right, now let's get over here, grab our lime spreader, and go spread some lime. I think it's in this one. Oh, crap. I think we're going to put the lime spreader in a different building. Matter of fact, while I have this big old harvester out, I might... Oop, hit the wrong button. Paid that guy $500. Feel like I was cheated. Alright, let's go in here, grab this lime spreader. Plenty of room to turn this thing around. Let's get in here. Oops. Perfect. Out we go. Now, I'm going to go ahead and fill this thing up with lime, even though we probably don't need it. Oh, we also need to grab our Isaria Pro Compact before I forget. Or should I say, not the Pro Compact, but the Isaria crop sensor. Also, I need fuel. So we'll do all those things. Also, we need to fix this thing. Good lord, we're in bad shape. Is it the tractor, I wonder, or is it the, like, lime spreader that's hurting us? It's got to be the tractor. Didn't realize our tractor was in such dire straits. Maybe we'll give her a big... We'll take her out, we'll lime the field, and then we'll come back, we'll get some fuel on the way back, and when we put her in the shop, we'll get her all maintained. Do an oil change and all the things, grease all the fittings. Of course, you should be greasing all the fittings every time you use the machine. If you're doing things right. Oh, other thing. Probably shouldn't just leave this running while we go do that. So let's get this thing put away. Just go until you put a hole in the back wall. It'll be fine. Alright, let's get this down there, lime that field, and then we'll be ready for planting season in a couple of months. And then it'll also be time to harvest all the potatoes. Because I think we harvest the potatoes in August. We also plant the canola in August. August is going to be a busy, busy month. Just a little tractor driving on the road. Alright, here is our field up here on the right. Probably turn the lines back on too. There we go. I guess it didn't need that much lime, but should be fine. As long as we're not over liming, shouldn't hurt the field any. You can definitely see where the soil type changes. Oh, I forgot. Fortunately, liming the field's not going to take too long. And it'll go a long ways towards making sure that our canola harvest is bountiful. Get online first. Field is at a slight angle, so I don't want to miss a little spot. But this field should be perfect for lime for the next probably couple of harvests anyway. Try not to drive into the trees. Perfect. Let's take this thing back over to the house. We'll put everything up. We'll get this thing filled up with fuel, get it maintained. And we will be ready for potato harvest and canola planting. Overall, pretty successful day, I think. Like I said, I have no idea exactly how much that was. I think it was 108,000 liters. So we might do some quick math and see about how much we're looking at in terms of a payday there. If we look, barley sells for a maximum of $370. So that should be about $40,000 worth of barley. Alright, I think I'm going to put this actually in here so that I ain't got to keep getting in the way of my potato harvester. or keep moving my potato harvester out of the way to get to everything. Alright. Whoops. Drop that. This is going to be real close. I think we're inside the door, though. Boy, don't get any closer than that, does it? We still have this bay that we can use. But before we do that, let's go ahead and jump in here. We'll fix everything up real quick. So the Pro Compact, we'll get that repaired. Make sure it's in tip-top shape. The trailer, we'll make sure that's in tip-top shape as well. The lime spreader, and then of course the tractor. This is the thing that's going to be expensive. $14,000 in repairs. Good Lord, we've been abusing her. I'm sorry, but we got her all fixed up now. She's good to go. We'll keep the sprayer in tip-top shape as well. So what I love about this building is that everything that you park anywhere near this building is repairable. So if we need to repair anything, we don't actually have to pull it into the bay either. We can just pull it like here onto the concrete. And usually that's close enough. But for now, I think that is a perfect place to go ahead and leave off for the day. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.